Wrestlers aren't just entertainers or athletes. They become part of your routine, your childhood, your weekly escape. So when one of them suddenly retires, it stings. I still remember how blindsided I felt when Edge or Daniel Bryan had to call it quits. Thankfully, they made their way back, but not everyone gets that second chance. That's why when a legend gets to retire on their own terms, there's something oddly comforting about it. From childhood heroes like Rey Mysterio to late career surprises like R-Truth, the clock is ticking louder than ever. Some are already on their farewell runs. Others just haven't said it out loud yet. With that in mind, let's take a look at 10 incredible wrestlers who are nearing the final chapters of their careers, some sooner than you'd think. John Cena. You can almost feel it, can't you? That sense of finality every time John Cena steps into the ring now. But he's not going quietly. If anything, Cena's going out like a man on fire, pulling double duty between Hollywood and WWE, giving us one last run that somehow feels just as electric as the early 2000s. At the recently concluded SummerSlam Night 2, Cena had that incredible match with Cody Rhodes. Classic face versus face energy. Cena passed the torch, and then boom, Brock Lesnar crashes the party with an F5. That's your next feud right there. And let's be honest, Cena versus Lesnar one more time? That's the stuff WWE fans live for. Cena himself has confirmed that this current run will end in 2025, so we're watching the sunset in real time. And since it is his last lap, he's pacing it perfectly like he always has. The chance of "let's go Cena, Cena sucks" might fade, but the legacy remains permanent. Billy Gunn. Let's talk about the most shredded 61-year-old in wrestling history. Billy Gunn has absolutely no business being in the kind of shape he's in. But here he is, defying every expectation, especially since teaming up with The Acclaimed. That team-up made Daddy Ass a thing, a huge thing. The AEW World Trios title run with The Acclaimed brought him back into the spotlight in a way no one saw coming, and fans loved every second. But now that the trio's momentum has cooled, the question has returned. Is this the final stretch? Billy has hinted at retirement, joking that his sons, Austin and Colton, think they'll be his final opponents. But in a recent chat, he tossed out another name, Will Ospreay. That's not a throwaway line either. He genuinely wants to go out swinging in a match that matters. Maybe the time has come, maybe not just yet. But whether it's his sons or Ospreay who get the honor, you can bet Billy Gunn's final match will be one to remember. And yeah, probably full of scissor hands too. R-Truth. How is R-Truth still this entertaining at 53? The man is aging like some kind of wrestling Benjamin Button, except with better comedic timing. Truth is WWE's oldest active wrestler, and the most beloved. Truth had a little career renaissance recently. Remember the whole Judgment Day arc at the end of 2023 and early 2024? He somehow ended up accidentally joining them, mistaking the group's name for a tag team. Classic Truth. It earned him a ton of TV time and even a tag title run. Recently, he also had a tete-a-tete with his childhood hero, John Cena. Not bad for a guy most fans assumed was retired 3 years ago. But now, as the TV time's dwindling and the push is fading, he's quietly sliding down the card again, and while he'll probably still show up in hilarious segments here and there, 2025 might finally be his curtain call. And honestly, that's okay. He's had an incredible run. Multiple eras, multiple gimmicks, and always left us laughing. Man, I still remember him as K-Quick. When he does finally hang up the boots, the ovation will be loud and very, very well earned. Jeff Jarrett. Double J has been around for a long time. To give you an example, Undertaker made his WWE debut in 1991. Jeff Jarrett made his debut 2 years later and is still going strong. Jeff Jarrett is like wrestling's version of a rock band that just won't stop touring. Every time you think he's finally played his last encore, he grabs a guitar and smashes your expectations. Now in AEW, Double J has carved out a weirdly perfect late career role. He's not just some nostalgia act. The man's been involved in meaningful matches, delivering those sneaky good six-man brawls with Jay Lethal and company, and he still walks with that swagger like he owns the arena. But there's an undeniable feeling in the air. Jarrett said before he wants to go out with a purpose, and with AEW giving him that last big stage, it feels like the clock is ticking. He's in his mid-50s, has been wrestling since the late 80s, and has done everything from running promotions to crashing guitars on legends. So if he's planning to call it a day soon, now's probably the right time. But don't expect him to fade quietly. Jeff's never been about quiet exits, and something tells me that final bell will come right after one last smash. AJ Styles. When AJ Styles talks about retirement, it doesn't feel like one of those someday plans. It feels soon. Like we've probably already seen his final WrestleMania main event, and he knows it. You can hear it in interviews, the way he talks about his body, his family, and how he's already done more than he ever thought he would. Recently, in the SummerSlam kickoff show, he also announced that this could be his last appearance at the biggest party of the summer. Styles isn't slowing down in the ring as he's still outclassing half the roster, but you can tell the end is something he's actively managing. He is now choosing his feuds and his spots wisely, and frankly, that makes sense for a guy whose style has always been high impact and high risk. You can only pull off a springboard forearm for so many years. Also, let's not forget how entertaining his feud with Dominic Mysterio has been. His comic timing is so underrated. They also gave the perfect tribute to Eddie Guerrero in their fun match at SummerSlam for the Intercontinental Championship. He's mentioned before that he doesn't want to wrestle into his 50s. He's 48 now. But whether he retires at the end of 2025 or a bit after, AJ won't be remembered for how he left. He'll be remembered for how he elevated every company he touched, from TNA to NJPW to WWE. AJ Styles made everything feel more legitimate just by showing up, and we are going to miss him. Adam Copeland, Edge. Adam Copeland already gave us one emotional retirement. Remember that night in 2011? The shock, the tears, the neck injury that forced him out? It felt final. But then he came back nearly a decade later in the Royal Rumble, and honestly, that felt like a miracle. Now in AEW, Edge isn't just here for another nostalgia pop. He said it himself. This is his actual retirement run, and watching him work in AEW has been weirdly comforting. He's clearly having fun, choosing opponents he respects, getting physical without overdoing it. He's building toward a goodbye on his terms. One of the most beautiful full-circle moments came when he reunited with Christian Cage, only to end up feuding with him. Their TNT Championship match at Full Gear 2023 was straight fire. It was personal, decades in the making, and told with pitch-perfect pacing. Add to that great matches with guys like Matt Cardona and younger AEW talent, and you realize Copeland is lifting others up on his way out. You can tell he's treating every match like it might be his last. There's no wasted movement, no lazy storytelling. It's all precise, all emotional. He's not coasting, and when he does finally walk away, maybe late 2025 or early 2026, he'll leave knowing he finished on a high note. Not a forced exit, not a surprise injury, but a final bow earned and applauded. Edge came back from the unthinkable, and now he gets to write the ending his way. Dustin Rhodes. Dustin Rhodes has lived about 5 wrestling lives. From the early natural days in WCW to redefining weird as Goldust in WWE, to now becoming a veteran mentor in AEW, he's done it all. And then some. The man's 56, still moving well, but you can tell he knows the end is near. What's made Dustin's AEW run special is how he's doing it. He's showing up when it counts, putting over young talent and squeezing out everything he's got left in the tank. That blood-soaked classic with Cody at AEW Double or Nothing 2019 is still considered one of the most emotional matches in modern wrestling. In July 2025, fans got one more feel-good moment when he shocked the world by winning the TNT Championship at AEW All In, Texas. It was one of those "I can't believe this is happening" wins that made longtime fans tear up. But just as quickly, the torch was passed. Dustin lost the title to Kyle Fletcher on July 31st, and shortly after, he dropped a big one. He is set for double knee replacement surgery in August, which could put him on the shelf until 2026. That kind of recovery at his age is not easy. Even Dustin acknowledged that the end is near. But whether he comes back for one last run or quietly fades into retirement, he's already given us way more than we could have asked for. Whether it's as Goldust, Dustin, or The Natural, this guy has nothing left to prove. Just one last ovation left to give him. Bryan Danielson. One of my personal favorite wrestlers of all time, Bryan Danielson, has been open about one thing. He doesn't want to wrestle full-time forever. And now, with his AEW contract entering its final stretch, that retirement clock is ticking louder than ever. But let's be real. Bryan doesn't feel like a guy who's winding down. He's still in absolute killer mode. Every time he steps in the ring, be it against Zack Sabre Jr., Okada, or Will Ospreay, he delivers absolute clinics. It's like he's on a farewell tour with dream matches left and right. But behind all that brilliance, he's already shifting gears like working backstage and mentoring talents. This isn't some "I'm done forever" kind of exit, though. Bryan has said he might pop in for the odd match now and then, especially internationally or for special events. It's the grind and week-to-week stuff he's stepping away from. And honestly, he's earned it. After battling career-ending injuries, defying doctors, and redefining what a smaller wrestler could achieve on the biggest stages, Bryan is walking away not because he has to, but because he can. He won't just retire with respect. He'll retire with reverence. Paul White. Paul White has been the giant, the big show, and now AEW's massive mentor figure who still shows up when needed. But in 2025, the writing's on the wall. The man is 53, has had multiple surgeries, including hip replacements, and has straight up said he wants one more good run before hanging up the boots for good. And that's fair if you ask me. He's done everything. WrestleMania main events, heel turns that changed with the wind, legendary moments with Stone Cold, Undertaker, Cena, but AEW gave him something he hadn't had in years: the freedom to exit gracefully. He's had a few tag matches and appearances here and there, but now he's eyeing a final storyline. Maybe it's a retirement feud with a young monster. Perhaps it's a battle royal send-off. Whatever it is, Paul White deserves a proper farewell, not just a slow fade. He's been the locker room enforcer, the comic relief, the unstoppable giant, and now the elder statesman. If 2025 is indeed his last year, let's hope AEW lets him go out with a bang, and maybe a ring collapse for old time's sake. Rey Mysterio. It feels surreal even to say it, but Rey Mysterio is probably retiring in 2025. And if the rumors are true, it'll be in the most poetic way possible by losing to his son, Dominic, in a passing of the torch match. Honestly, if anyone deserves to call their shot on the way out, it's Rey. This man has done it all. From Lucha Libre prodigy in AAA and ECW to stealing the show in WCW to becoming a world champion in WWE against every possible odd, Rey's career is the definition of defying expectations. At just above 5.5 feet tall, he shattered glass ceilings with every 619s and West Coast pops. And he's still going strong at 50, though you can see the miles on his body. The Dom storyline has breathed new life into his twilight years. Watching Rey navigate the pain of watching his son turn heel and reject his legacy has been emotional, dramatic, and honestly, some of his best storytelling work. But now, it feels like that arc is nearing its final act. Rey once said he never wanted to take the mask off, but maybe, just maybe, he'll pass it down to Dominic as part of his final chapter. When Rey leaves, it's not just the end of a career, it's the end of a myth. Gracias, Rey. Always. Marvelous verdict. There you have it. 10 legends whose final bell might be closer than we think. It's weird, isn't it? These are the names we grew up with, the ones who made us fall in love with wrestling in the first place. But that's the beauty of wrestling. It never truly ends. The faces may change, but the stories will live forever. Who do you think is or should be retiring next to preserve their legacy? Or who do you wish could stick around just a little bit longer? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this nostalgic yet heartbreaking countdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next chapter in wrestling history. Thanks for watching.